So as far as the gospel, the Catholic Church Jesus, we really don't know much about them, but I know you know a lot about Lazarus and Martha and Mary Magdalene after going to France. So what
Uh,
all like kind of happened with that with them?
So, um, around 47, like the year 47. So this is where it's interesting because, all right,
It's like 14 years
Jesus
after
is
he was killed.
Yes, exactly. So it's like Jesus was crucified, died, ascended, all of these things happen. Pentecost happens. The apostles receive the Holy Spirit. They go out, they start evangelizing. They are going to all of these different places. There's 72 of them that go out, and they are the way showers. Um, and Mary Magdalene, who is also known as Mary of Bethany, I believe, you believe, Martha of Bethany, and Lazarus, they
We're
are
gonna get
part of
into
this.
that.
Yes. But eventually, because of you know, the animosity of the Romans, I mean, they want this early Christian movement eliminated. They do not want the person that they basically just crucified, and to end all of this, now these people are basically picking up where he left off, and they've multiplied. This is a big deal. Before there was just this one guy doing all of these things. But they didn't leave right away. They circulate and they spread out throughout the region, and they're going and they're talking and they're evangelizing and all of these things, and performing miracles and healings of their own. But around 14, 15 years after Christ's death and resurrection, they decide that it's time to leave. It's getting too intense. And I believe that they knew that Mary was his wife, and that they knew it was time for her and her most loyal companions to get out of the area. And I mean, they left in a boat with no oars and no sail. Like, that is part of the legend, and what we had
Right. And
discussed in the last
apparently
episode
Saint Anne,
with
I
Saint.
guess ashes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. They
Which
took
I
her
think is
ashes with
also
them.
odd. Like
Why would they do that? Why do they
which
care
was weird.
about
Like
Anne
I
of
didn't even
Nazareth?
think that they cremated people back then.
I mean, well, I don't know about Hebrew law, but I do know that in many ancient traditions, you would have been burned on a pile of logs or wood, or, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't, but this is more pagan. This is a more of a polytheistic tradition. The Celts, the
Yeah, because in the
Vikings.
Catholic Church for years, they like only recently has in the Catholic Church it been somewhat okay to cremate. And there's still a lot of very traditional Catholics who are very against getting cremated, myself included. I do not want to be cremated. I do not. I want to be in a mausoleum. But there for a long time, it is very like it is a sin to be cremated at all. So that's why I thought it was pretty interesting that, Jesus' grandmother was cremated, and how the
I
church
don't
for
think.
so long was just so against it.
Yeah, but they weren't Christians like that, right? Because it was all of these other men that started the church in like the 4th century that created these laws. I don't know if Jesus was against that. I think it's ashes to ashes and dust to dust. And I think that's perfectly fine if that's what
Yeah,
you
we
want for
literally
your
say that.
religion.
Like literally when you do so like after someone passes and you do the burial, there's a whole burial thing that happens, and in one of the prayers it says um like something about like to earth we come and then we also go back, but there's a part where it says ashes
Return.
to ashes, dust to dust. Like
Yeah.
it's a whole thing.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like, that's something that I think they made up because of what they wanted. It's all their agenda. Whatever they've decided is their agenda.
But anywho,
They end up in Marseille. They land in Marseille. They end up on the shores of South France in Marseille, and the Druids meet them. So now you have to understand, these are not Christians. These are polytheistic pagans. But what they what Druids actually believe is they are very connected into the earth and into the cosmos. So it is very much about the as above and so below. They are very much into the elements. They believe that God lives in everything. God is in the trees, God is in the rocks, God is in the water, God is in the clouds, God is in the birds. And that's something that I believe as well. That's how I practice my faith. But what I love about this is that because in the Bible, there is like this massive dichotomy between paganism and, monotheism. It's like, we have to convert the pagans. We have to convert the pagans. Pagans aren't bad people. Okay. Like you can have a friendship with a pagan and you can be a Christian. And that's exactly what happened was they actually became very close, and the Druids taught things to Mary and Martha and Lazarus and vice versa. And I feel like I personally believe that if this was able to be anchored in so much deeper between like these two worlds, that this would be the most beautiful religion or spiritual path to embody.